You're listening to Biz-Souls, the business podcast with an edge, hosted by me, Rona Lewis, and Jeffrey Hansler. Tune in for perspectives and discoveries about the changing world of business. It's time to connect to the heart, soul, and humor of how business gets done. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Biz-Souls. I'm Rona Lewis.
I'm Jeffrey Hansler, and we get to the heart and soul of business and the people that make it happen.
And obviously, Jeffrey's a little sleepy because he's been sucking down coffee all morning.
I know. And today, nepotism lives on in Biz-Souls.
That's right, because we had my niece Sarah on, and now we have to have my nephew Bryan and his partner Morgan on because they have done some amazing food stuff. I was going to say work, but yes, it is a lot of work.
Don't let your aunt fool you. She didn't want you on because you had nothing to offer. Now that you're ultra successful and you're killing it, now of course she wants you on.
Yeah, and your point?
Totally fair. I would do the exact same thing.
And there you go.
Game recognizes game.
That's right. So we have Bryan and Morgan on because they have an amazing restaurant in Jersey City called WingBar. And it's just been their 1-year anniversary, and they've been written up all over the place. Guys, I'm going to read your little blurb that's from your website, and then I'm going to let you introduce yourselves a little bit more, and then we're going to find out everything. Jeffrey always has a starting question. We'll go from there. I guess I don't need these glasses. WingBar's story actually starts on the green at Seton Hall University. Morgan, is it Kulessa?
Kulessa, yes.
Kulessa and Bryan Lewis, both former pirates, found themselves in the hospitality space after their time at the university. In 2023, Morgan and Bryan opened WingBar in McGinley Square in Jersey City. A small but mighty full-service restaurant specializing in chicken wings. WingBar has quickly become a neighborhood staple and proudly welcomes the community it serves. And weren't you guys voted best wings in New Jersey and best smash burger and best and best and best? So tell me everything.
Well, wait a second. I have a question first. So
Okay.
Rona has commented that we have boring restaurants in downtown, and we really do. They're kind of,
Yeah,
nothing.
we really do.
And a new taco place just opened up, and one of the owners is an ex-con,
Right.
and the place is just smashing it. So which one of you were in jail?
Well,
Oh, and I don't want to narc on anybody, so I'll keep quiet on that one.
Okay. Take it away.
so tell us how you guys first even discuss wings or the concepts. How'd the restaurant start?
Yeah. So Morgan had already been working with 3 restaurants that were in a pocket in a neighborhood of Jersey City that hasn't had the best reputation in the last 10, 20 years. Mm-hmm. So Morgan's been here for a while. I came into it after I got laid off from my social media job in the city. I came back from a really big trip, and the first phone call I get was, "Hey, we just bought a restaurant. We can't afford social media. Cut you out." And just kind of sat there for a second, talked to my family, luckily, and just called Morgan. Had a question about a few things, like what could I do? What would you do in my situation? And ended up consulting with the 3 restaurants. And after my term, kind of had one of the owners bring me to the side and was like, I don't think you were worth the money we gave you, but there is an opportunity that you could be in the long haul. And I was like, what's it about? Told me there's a kitchen in the middle restaurant that no one's been using. What would you do with that space? Come back to me with an idea. Let's see what we can do. So obviously me shitting my pants. Sorry if I can't say that.
No, you can say it. It's okay.
I'm just I'm so okay, sweet. Let's just do something cool in the back. I go home, I call Morgan, we get a gigantic bottle of wine, and we just talk it out for honestly, the first 5 minutes. Low key, we were wing restaurant, boneless wings. Yeah, the neighborhood needs that. We live here. We know what we need. Sounds good. Brought out a little business plan. Come back, flesh it out. 5 times, flesh it out. And we just put ourselves a little ghost kitchen in the back. Started out with Morgan and I, in the back. We're
Nice.
Cooking. We're making all these things. She does all the administrative important stuff. I do like the things that are fun, like social media and cooking and menu planning and this and that. But we just really were trying to find a need, like in anything in sales. We're trying to find a need. We're trying to discover what the pain points are, and we want to facilitate hospitality, good food, and an atmosphere that people want to come not just once, but multiple times over and over again.
And it seems to work. So Morgan, do you cook at all?
I do. I would say I'm more of a home cook, if anything. When it was just me and Bryan in the kitchen, I would always say my brain doesn't work like this because I was in front of house for so long.
Sure.
I was bartending my way through college, and then I was administrative work for the restaurants here. So I was like, I can do it, but my brain doesn't work like this. So it was tough the first couple months for us to become line cooks, essentially. We were line cooks for our own restaurant. There was the two of us, like employee one, employee two. So when it comes to cooking, we both really love it and enjoy it. We do it in our homes. We do it well. But when it comes to like serious, like career cooking, I just don't think it's for us, honestly.
Well, and it's tough. You know, Bryan and I always talk, well, not always, but we talk a lot about cooking because I have a little bit of that background also. And it's a lot of work. So now you guys actually have a staff, which is awesome. And before we go on about that, Jeffrey has a question that he asks every guest.
I know Rona jumped in there.
It's
okay. It's a good segue. It's a good segue. So Bryan, you know, and Morgan, you know, intern, what'd you want to be when you grew up? I mean, did you see yourself doing this? Did you want to be an astronaut? I don't know, fireman, cop, criminal,
ballerina?
Criminal, I think. You went the wheel with the feds? What's going on? What's going on? You know somebody? What's going on? Morgan, please.
Absolutely.
Take it.
The goal was always law school. From like middle school, I was going to go to law school. I was going to be a lawyer. That was, my family talked about it. We were so excited. And then when I was bartending my way through college, I was kind of like, hey, like, I really love this atmosphere. I was making more money than my friends that were working these corporate jobs. I was like, I think I really enjoy this. And as I showed more interest in it, law school just became less and less of a better idea for me, and more so getting into hospitality because I saw how good I was in that space. So then when I worked my way to administrative and like becoming general managers, I was like, I think I found where I needed to be by keeping my options open. Yeah. I was so set on law school for so many years, especially when you first met me, I was so set on law school. And then as like time went on, it became more clear to me that because I kept my options open, I found what I was like really supposed to do in life.
And how'd your family feel about it, since they were
not happy at first. That was probably the hardest conversation of my life, to tell my Asian mother I wasn't going to law school. But once she saw like how successful I was in the space, like now they're our biggest fans, like Bryan all the time. Like how's the restaurant?
Literally.
So they're very happy for us. Yeah.
But it's nice that they were open to being able to come around, like to be understanding, like to actually, because at the end of the day, nobody had to support that on either of our sides. Like both sides were very supportive, but they easily could have been like, absolutely not, like do your thing, but we're not going to like back you up. But it's nice that they're very much there for us, which is so nice.
Mm-hmm. So
and you?
Yeah, go ahead, tell your story.
Yeah, me. Well, when I was younger, I really wanted to be in sports broadcasting because I just loved yapping. I'm a certified yapper, and I've been told that a million times.
I don't know what that's like.
Yeah, I know.
That definitely runs in the family.
Yeah, on both sides, honestly. It's pretty great. So I fit right in. And I was dead set on doing that. So I went to Seton Hall because they have a great broadcasting program. They're really big in film. So I did that. And then I've always had a love for cooking. I love taking care of people. I love serving food, not necessarily taking care of that side of things. But I love when people can come in, feel like they can kick their shoes off, sit down, enjoy. Like I love facilitating that and giving them that experience.
That's the Jewish side.
Yeah, because the restaurant on the other side, they're just drinking and having a good time regardless.
So it's a perfect combination.
And they're always picky. So if they're picky and they know what they like and they still enjoy it, how about that? So
very good.
I always loved cooking. So instead of going to the great lengths to be a sports broadcaster to make 28 grand in the middle of Idaho for 15 years, I decided to go into the much more lucrative side of things in cooking in restaurants to 31, I think, normally a year. So I'm really trying to grow my way up, but ownership has always been attractive to me. I love the idea of building something on my own. And when I got really scared. I was like, Morgan, save me. Come help me out. I need you. And we hold each other accountable. And I am the figurative balloon to her string holding me down. So that has worked really well for us. So yeah, broadcasting food. And that's really all I saw myself. I couldn't be a professional athlete. God knows that. But that's about it. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
Great. That's great. So, can I jump in?
Please do.
So a couple of technical questions. So you've got the space. Now, are you leasing the space? Do you have a partnership with the guy who owns the space, or the guy who has the main lease on the restaurants? With the kitchen you're using, are you leasing it, or are you in partnership? Or is that something you can't discuss?
No, we can lease the space.
You lease the space.
Yeah, we work very closely with the owners.
Okay.
Just because it's great to have a great working relationship with them if they are also in the business. So we have a very close relationship. But yeah, we do lease the space.
So they gave you the opportunity for the space. They didn't say, "Hey, we want you to open a restaurant, and we're your partners."
Yeah.
Okay.
And how were they? Did they invite you to increase the size, or was there? How is it working now? I mean, do they want you to open more than one? Are they going to partner with you when it comes to the what's the word that I'm thinking of?
When a new opportunity comes up and another space comes up somewhere else, are you going to partner with them or no? They were just the leaseor. That's why I asked that question.
Yeah.
Our goal is to partner up for any expansion projects.
Okay, good.
First, to believe in us, so we're grateful for them.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. And do you have a beer wine license? Or do you have
they're the ones that own this license, but if we were to do the expansion projects, we would have to purchase our own liquor license because that's kind of how it works in New Jersey.
Right. Okay.
Got it. So how many do you seat at this point? How many tables?
With warm weather, I could say like 35 because we have outdoor, but as it gets colder, we can't really have anything outside. So it's like a comfortable, maybe like 25 people. It's pretty small.
It's pretty small.
Is most of your business takeout?
At this point, I would say majority is takeout. If we combine takeout and delivery, but we do a pretty healthy amount of both, like in-house takeout delivery. So that's what we.
There's an idea.
What?
Well, of outside, and when it's cold, if you closed in most of the sides with kind of a tent, just closed it and call it your tailgate section. So practicing people warming up for tailgate with big screens out there. Anyway.
Yeah, because it'll be so easy on the streets of Jersey City because there's so much room. Anyway.
Yeah, there's tons of room.
And the licensing
Have you ever been to Jersey City, Jeffrey?
Yeah, and the licensing's easy, and you don't ever have to worry about who you get your linens from or who comes by to collect for, a little protection here and there.
I get nervous.
There you go.
I get nervous. But I like the idea, though.
When did you guys first realize that, hey, this can really work?
I think it was our second month. Sales were okay. We were in and out. We saw like a good, we were growing. We were growing. We saw good growth. Wasn't like a crazy number, but we were like, okay, this could work. We can keep doing this. Then Bryan did what he does best, and that's social media. Reached out to who's become like a buddy of ours now at this point, this guy in Hoboken, and he did a video for us that went insanely viral. Like none of us could have imagined that video doing the numbers that it did. Like shout out to Eric, that he's the best. But after that, we quadrupled our sales the next day. And then the day after that, it just kept going in this crazy projection like that I couldn't even imagine happening to us. And that we looked at each other after the first day, like all like sweaty, just looking terrible. Like we just got like
absolutely molly.
We got obliterated that day. We ran out of everything, and we were like, oh my God, like we could really do something with this. And like it's just been insane from there.
That's awesome.
And also not for nothing, like I'm a pretty good cook, so I knew I could throw down in the kitchen. So if my recipes and I make them my way, why would it not be banging? Like I wouldn't. I'm so vain and so conceited and narcissistic where I'm like, I can't have a restaurant where the food is not banging. Like I can't be like, hey guys, come out, and then all my friends are like, yeah, it's really good. Like Like,
Yeah,
like get
great.
McDonald's
Maybe
afterwards.
next week we'll have Greek food instead. Don't we?
Yeah, no, exactly. And I just, for me, I'm just too vain. So we had to make a great spot and we had to make it so fun and play amazing music. And yeah, I think when we believed we were going to be successful even prior to opening. So that's really when we started it. And even when, because Morgan believed the whole time, I had a shadow of I had a small little crescent moon shadow of a doubt, a little nail that it couldn't work. And Morgan like rolled her sleeve up like, if you doubt us for a second, you will not succeed. We're just going to cut it right now. We're not even going to continue it. You even think we're going to fail. And she like looked me dead in the eye and I was like, okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. And from that point on, we're like, the food's great. We have fun. Everyone's young and vibrant. And even if you're not, you still feel accepted. We're calling out your name. Remember your name. We save your name on the phone. It's important to us that people enjoy what they're doing because there's so many phony, bad restaurants that get this big popularity online. People come and they're always disappointed. Like
Right.
I hate when people feel that way. It's the worst feeling.
Right.
So I try to do my best. Our team is best. Like we have a really supportive team for each other. They teach each other. Like we show them how to do it the right way. So everyone's still young. I'm green in my role. I'm a year in. Morgan's been in this a long time before this, but it's definitely one of those things that we felt good in our gut. You commit to the process, as it is, just commit to our process, make the best food possible. And then at that point, I was going to take all of it.
So I'm gonna take a little different tack when I ask this question. People learn a lot when they fail because it's part of the learning process. What did you fail at that you were able to recover from and make it even better?
I mean, this is only a 45-minute podcast,
Yeah.
so we don't have enough time to go over all our failures.
How deep do you want to get into this right now?
Well,
Actually, it's only a 25-minute podcast.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have much time.
So
but I think
does any
everything.
one
We
thing?
messed up
Yeah, go ahead.
everything. We messed up everything. We made a mistake in almost everything at one point where we said, "Oop, that wasn't great." And then we always had a conversation. I think it was important that we always had a conversation. What are we going to do next time to be prepared for it? Like we've messed up inventory, we've messed up payroll, like which is people's lives, and like we've messed up every aspect of this business. We have messed up at one point, and of course maybe on a minuscule scale to like a larger scale, but we always have that conversation like. What are we going to do next time so we can avoid this happening again, which is important. We never like eat in our sorrows when we do something wrong. It's always we're very solutions based, both of us, which I love. So we're like, okay, that sucks, but like how are we never going to do that ever again?
Yeah. Awesome.
Now, so thinking in the future, can the place operate without you guys at this point, or no? It's still a work in progress. You still got to tie it down so this place can operate or without
So that you can franchise it.
In terms of ordering, I still do the ordering with using, even if I'm not around, I'll still do it. And I'll like have the help of Morgan, or I'll have Chef Jeffrey. Shout out Chef Jeff. He's like our glue. He's the man. Bilingual God. He's 22. Beast, runs our kitchen.
Nice.
Love him to death. For the majority of his time, he was commuting from Queens to
Wow.
City
That's
every
a
single
schlep.
5 to 6 days a week, like schlepped an hour and a half at least each way, like every
wow.
day working long hours.
Thank you, Chef Jeff.
no
Chef Jeff,
kidding.
Chefry, he's the man.
Jeffrey, I love that.
Yeah, he has been so instrumental in facilitating the work that is needing to be done. But we have great systems in place. The people who make our sauces are so consistent, and it's just a matter of continuously training and retraining. And even while we improve our recipes daily, we're still making new sauces. We're still trying to critique our recipes to always make it a better product. We are always not just telling our team what is to be done. It's the reasons why. Why are we searing our buns a certain amount of time at this amount of time? Why are we doing this with our sauce? Is the reason why we use mayo instead of butter. The reason why we use like blue agave instead of like the soybean honey fake stuff. Like there's a reason why we're doing it. As long as we explain that, I think our team is really bought in. We pay them well. We take care of them. If they need help getting home, sometimes we'll give them Uber money. Like we make sure that people feel good about being here, and that comes by in the food.
Yeah.
So as long as we can give that, look at Chick-fil-A. That's their model. Make them feel good. The hospitality, my pleasure, extra sauce without even asking. Those types of little things, that's what makes people come back. So
Sure.
that's what we're teaching our team. And so far, while again, there are bumps in the road naturally, especially if we're both not there for a couple of days at a time, if we're doing other things, what have you. It's really important that we still communicate the what and the why.
Sure.
So far, so good.
So what awards have you won, or what accolades from the social media and newspapers and things like that? Because didn't you win like best smash burger or something, best wings? I can't remember. But there were a
Yes,
few.
please.
Like, so there's
Yes,
this publication called Hoboken Girl, and every year they do the best of Jersey City and the best of Hoboken. We told everyone we've known in our entire lives, like, nominate us for best wings. Everyone sending it to absolutely everyone. Nominate us. We weren't even on the nomination, and then I scroll
Right
and I
in.
see best burger in Jersey City, and we were nominated organically for it.
Yeah.
They even
Nice.
asked us to nominate us for
Well
that.
done.
So
Begging works.
yeah, it works out.
No, they got it organically.
Yes, but
That's
she
what she charged
but she emailed everybody and told them to
about wings.
About wings.
About the wings.
Oh.
So
Okay.
it's funny, as a
I didn't
wings
hear
spot-
right. I'm
This
sorry,
is what
what?
I have to deal with.
You're not the
This
only
is
one
what I
with
do.
a little ADD.
You,
Squirrel.
you get to deal with it. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
So-
But yeah, no, it's nice in terms of like a straight up like award.
Right.
No, to answer your question, no.
Oh.
But we've been on a lot of lists for social media publications, social media lists of like what to get when you're here
Mm-hmm.
visiting Jersey City XYZ. So for us, we don't even need awards.
Yeah.
We just need people
To come
love
in.
our
Yeah.
love being
Right.
here. And the awards come. It's like we always talk about, what is the purpose of it? What's the main purpose of a business?
Yeah.
And a lot of people
To-
say to make a lot of money. I disagree. A lot of people disagree. It's to take care of the needs of your clients, guests, customers, however. Continuously take care of them, make them feel special and rewarded, and then they will continuously come back and the money will come.
Nice.
So that's the direction we look at. And we're not penny pinching anyway. We give quality things, we give quality ingredients, we give whole ingredients. We don't waste anybody's time with the frozen XYZ. So continuously doing that, making people feel good. That is just what we're doing. And so far, so good.
Right. Are you?
We're entering football season, so if wings
Oh,
are
that's awesome. Yeah.
Flying out the
We've
door.
we managed the summer, we've held it down, and
Yeah.
football
This is
season's upon us. We'll see how it goes.
your season. Are you finding most of your clientele is neighborhood? Are you finding people who have heard of you now from social media coming in from different places?
Yeah. So whenever we see this kind of trend that when we have a social media video go out, we'll see people from the surrounding areas. From that original video, we had people coming from Philly, on Long Island, like from really traveling.
Staten, Italy.
Yeah.
They came over from like
Like
they're all
people were really
from all
traveling.
over.
You should
Not
have-
as much anymore. Mostly like surrounding areas. So like farthest I feel like would be like Clifton or like Wayne. Like so maybe a 30-minute drive.
30 and change.
But
from.
it is pretty hyper local to Bayonne, Jersey City,
Yeah.
Hoboken, I would say.
Which is nice because it's like a cheers. Everybody knows your name, and it's familiarity is a great thing because they know what they're going to get.
Oh, and
Fantastic.
in the back, I mean, the yellow, if it was gold instead of red, that'd be cheers. And so,
There you
yeah,
go.
it kind
There
of
you
goes.
go. That's perfect.
Kind of goes.
I love that. I didn't even think of that.
He is a Fed. I knew it. I knew it.
Hey, wait, here's my other idea. What you should start, because Jersey Shore was such a bad, it was just awful. It showed the worst of Jersey.
Yeah.
You should just start a new syndication there, just in the restaurant. Pick the customers that come in all the time and just shoot little videos of them having a dialogue about what's going on.
Throw it on
in their lives.
YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, and just throw it on YouTube as a, independent sitcom. So anyway.
And just
I
have,
like it.
Yeah, just have a camera set up and don't move it and just, like a photo booth, except with a camera and ask them questions and have them answer it.
And
That'd
that'll be the
actually be
camera.
so fun. Like a little that would be so fun. We had like
Yeah.
a photo booth thing.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
So it'd be a camera booth, just a camera booth. The camera's running all the time, it just rolls on stuff and let it go with couple of big things. And then
Confessional.
people
Yeah.
can come in. Yeah.
A wing confessional.
Yeah.
It's slightly horrifying, I think.
Okay.
Oh God.
Okay, go.
I just came off the street. What's up?
Yeah. Well, you could have the camera booth. It's the only booth available. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
And I knew one bedroom.
That'd be big in Jersey City.
All right, so
Yeah, it comes with a kitchen in the back. And, oh my God, a bathroom.
going back to the present. So you made a decision when you began. And one of the decision was, how'd you decide in general this type of restaurant over another type? You know, Italian, Jewish bagels, how'd you set on this? I mean, was it a feel for the neighborhood?
They got the question.
Yeah, okay, he's thinking about it.
No, yeah, absolutely. For me, like I mentioned before, I used to be in sales. I used to work for Yelp. I used to sell restaurant software for a couple of years. And one of the biggest ways that I sold, and anybody should be selling, is, again, like I said, finding the needs of people that are going to be your clients, your customers, your guests. I know this area. I know that they need quality, because there are places that have gotten away with it for a long time. There are some places that no one knows about, and they deserve more credit and more likes and more looks and more eyes. For me, I knew that Raising Cane's is super popular. Wingstop's super popular. Chick-fil-A is super popular. Chicken is super popular. Wings, there was no place that was doing wings. There was no place that was doing like consistently good, like tossable Wingstop type scenario. And Wingstop has grown exponentially. Chick-fil-A, top of the food chain. So for me, I was like, why don't we just do all of that? Since Chick-fil-A has chicken sandwiches, tenders, mix that with Wingstop actually having bone-in wings. There's something there. Fries, sweet potato fries, onion rings, again, keeping it simple. Our biggest thing also is reducing our amount of food waste. So I was very hyper conscious of the food waste, cross-utilizing on the menu, using things that won't go bad, pickles that we won't go bad. Like we're using onions that we're going to be able to cut and stay the same way. Certain things we can freeze, but that won't be affected in that way. Mm-hmm. So we really very conscious of that, and we've done a great job of it. We've really reduced our food waste to hardly anything, and it's great. That's the thing that we're really proud of. But just the last thing we needed was the smash burgers, and that was like, okay, 7th Street Burger, huge franchise now. They blew up in like 5 years. They went from one store to like 25. Now they're going to DC. So we're seeing these things that are already popular. How can we do it our way? How can we make it so people can feel like it's a good value, but while still making us some money, we can pay our guys the right way. So really getting that healthy ecosystem of, while it might be a little bit expensive to some people, you're still really quiet for those 5 minutes. You're absolutely crushing that food. So they're going to come back. So we're just trying to find the need, fill that hole the right way. And the next stop is cheesesteaks. Keep that in mind.
It's so funny because we took a chance. We saw the hole in the market and we opened, right? And then we did the market research. 6 months later, Wingstop opens in our neighborhood, and then consequently Buffalo Wild Wings opens in our neighborhood. So we did the market research.
Within a year.
We did the research for these corporations.
The two monsters in the chicken wing spot.
So has it affected your business at all?
Not at all.
No.
Good. Well, because there's, you know what, you can really tell. I'm not a fast food person. You know that, Bryan. I mean, I cook almost as much as you do, and it's not the same when you take the fresh versus frozen and homemade sauce versus crap you get that has ingredients I can't pronounce. You know.
Well, and it's a similar story downtown. Like I said, they've got BJ's Pizza, so that's a chain, and that's doing okay. And then they've got HB Brewery, and so that's basic, Americana food. And then a lot of the other restaurants are just the same. Mm-hmm. And so the taco place comes in, and it's got a unique flavor, a unique taste, coal-fired tacos, and it is killing it.
They actually set up a tent last summer?
Yeah, they set up a quick tent with a truck.
Yeah, and they had little mini tacos for us to. They were awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, the chain
and I'm
shouldn't
so
affect
hungry.
them.
I haven't eaten it.
Sorry.
I don't plum. I'm so skinny and little and tiny and little.
So
I don't know. Trust me, I don't know.
Do you want to cover tips?
Yeah. So with your success and all the failures and interesting side things that you learned on your journey, if you could give a few tips, give a few tips for other budding entrepreneurial restaurateurs, what would you recommend for them? First, get a restaurant to back you, then
I think one of my most important through my like almost decade journey is to like find a like-minded mentor. Someone that's older, that's done this a couple times, that has failed much larger than you have, that you can kind of act as like a sounding board for any of your ideas. And luckily, if they think you have it in you, they'll be honest, really brutal with you. Like, that's dumb. I wouldn't do that. And you're like, okay, awesome, perfect. So I think having a mentor to really work with was most important for me because like I said, well, like you said, Bryan is the balloon. He's the idea guy. He's up in the air. He's gonna have to do all these things, and I'm a little more practical. I like very much in logic, so I'm the string in a way. So I'm like, I get really nervous to make a lot of decisions, and I'm like, oh, I'm not sure if that's the right thing. It's not the right thing. So I appreciate having someone to kind of ramble my ideas off of, besides Bryan, of course.
Right. Absolutely. Good shout out to your partner, your backdoor partners.
Yeah.
Right. And for me, I think there's just so many things that we've learned, but one of them being writing things down and not being afraid to critique original ideas that you have, and it's never going to be perfect. So write things down, even when it's just a quick idea. Take voice notes. That way you can kind of show your work a little bit to yourself. You don't have to show it to anybody else. I wasn't doing that originally, but now my notes are full of ideas and specials and marketing thoughts and recipes and everything in between. And I think people sometimes trust their memory too much and they forget great ideas or things that just aren't marked down. So definitely writing things down is great advice that I learned from the mentor that we're talking about as well. So for us, we're always going to get better. I think another good piece of advice is you need to give yourself some credit and some grace and always continue to critique yourself and get better. And that's that healthy mix. You can never keep your highs too high, your lows too low, like keeping that even keel and remaining humble as you go in your approach. I think that's what we've been trying to do. Just stay humble. A lot of the success can get to people's heads, but staying humble in your approach.
I think a good one also is like scarcity mindset. Like we never live in scarcity mindset. Like
Great one.
we're like, well, of course we're going to invest in it. Like the money's always going to come. And like we honestly sound delusional sometimes, but it's always worked out for us. And we never like living in scarcity will always live in scarcity.
Yeah. The growth mindset.
Yeah. So we always live in growth mindset. Like, of course we're going to invest in the best fryer. Like it's going to make us
It's going to serve us so much better.
Yeah. So of course we're going to spend that money. Of course money will always come back to us because we never live in like that scarcity mindset ever. We've never done it. And I've actually turned down other partners because they have totally reeked of scarcity mindset. And we're like, not for us.
Yeah. They're scared. They're scared to make that right reach. And
Yeah.
right. Growth mind. That's a great one.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get into the black? Or are you yet? Can I ask that question?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty early.
Yeah, pretty
early on.
I had a feeling. That's why I felt safe enough to ask that. So
Yeah, pretty early on.
Because our main goal too is to whenever we start things out, we get the train on the tracks. It doesn't have to be perfect when you start out. For us, because we're a smaller spot.
Right.
We're local. We haven't franchised out, so you have to have the micro with the macro. And for us, we wanted to put not the fact as little as possible, but get the most out of what we put in.
Excellent.
So we were able to
that's
have a
good point.
subsidized amount to put in. The infrastructure was already here. We made the fine tuning and took off from there. So that's our goal is like find places that already have an infrastructure, come in, spend as little as possible, and then over time, innovate, renovate, change, make better. And people honestly almost appreciate that more. Oh, wow, that's new. I love that. Like, oh, little things that's a new LED light. Like just keeping it showing that people are still going to be seeing new things. And if there's another location, just know we're still going to take care of this place. It's not just going to fall to the wayside, and we expect it to be great. Continuously tweaking, fine tuning, making better.
Yeah, that'll be great. I'm laughing because I'm thinking Rona's next question is, so what bank do you bank with, and where's your safe deposit key, and what's your bank number?
Routing?
Is it a high yielding?
No, I have told Bryan more than once when they start to build out, I want to be an investor.
Yes.
And so
absolutely.
I am.
Absolutely.
I am. If you ever want to come to California again and visit your aunt, then it's going to have to be that way. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Right,
hey,
fine.
hey, you know what I'd like? Sorry, Brian. I'd like it if you'd open up. I'd like it if you should open up downtown Huntington Beach. There you go. That'll also give your aunt
There
more
are
time
places.
to come down.
There are places.
Beachside would be so sick,
Yeah.
and I would love to have like maybe even like a barbecue side of things. We have an outdoor area in California. You can be outside all
Yeah,
All the time.
Exactly.
All the time. Absolutely.
So we can have
There are
year-round
places.
stuff, and we can have like a smoker and have like maybe a buddy of mine can come out and smoke meat. I have a friend who does a lot of barbecue in California, but I love the idea.
I'll start looking.
Yes, but
Starting now.
of course, but we love the idea of having like it almost feels like an activation in different locales. We love the idea of like if we were ever in New England, like having like a lobster roll part of the menu. Like if we're in California, imagine we did like a Dungeness crab cake or like something fun, like some cool like different little pockets of what we know is local and kind of getting the best of that and our take on things.
Fish wings.
And fun. Yes, I actually
fish wings.
I actually low key have seen that recently. They use like an actual fish and they batter and fry it and they toast in sauce, but yes. And imagine we did like fish tacos somewhere like local at the beach. I don't even who knows, but
Who knows?
So much to do. Anyway.
All right.
there's so much to do.
All right. So how can people get in touch with you? What are emails, websites? How can they connect? And come see you and say, Rona sent me.
Yes, of course. Our Instagram and email are probably the two best things we can do. eat@wingbarjc.com is the email. And eat@wingbarjc is the Instagram. We're
At WingBar JC.
at wingbarjc.
You sure?
Yes. At
Yes.
wingbarjc.
Ampersand. Yes. Okay. Got it.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Awesome. All good. Guys, thank you so much for both being here. I'm so excited for your success for more than one reason, obviously. And hopefully, once you start expanding, you will come back on and we'll talk about the process.
Can't wait.
It's all about.
Look
Thank you.
forward-
Guys.
Thank you. And I just want to throw one last thing out.
Yeah.
One of my mentors that I still talk to a lot was connected from my Aunt Rona. And I just want to say, like, with people always saying, like, don't mix business with friends and family and this and that, like, I disagree so much. If you have the right people you can work with, like having my Aunt Rona give me a mentor that I can literally talk to, I can bounce ideas off, who has done incredible work.
Nick Mortone. Shout out to Nick Mortone.
Creator of the Honeydeuce of the US Open, like absolute stud in the hospitality space. So I want to thank you again, like connecting me with that. And it's just
Of course.
I love that you're so supportive and you're doing your own thing on this podcast as well. And you're a savage and you're a hustler. And I really love you and appreciate you for having us on. a lot.
Aw. Now you're going to make me cry. All right. We better sign off before I start bawling. I'm Rona Lewis.
I'm Jeffrey Hansler. Subscribe and follow and
It really
share.
helps the
it really
numbers.
helps us.
Yeah, tell everyone you know. Guys, thank you again. This has been Biz-Souls. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Biz-Souls podcast with your hosts, Rona Lewis and Jeffrey Hansler. Did you have fun? Subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It's very much appreciated. Talk to you next week.